All right, this is the answer key. We're going to go over the answers for the Chapter 4 review for the quiz. So this was our practice quiz. Now, number 1 was estimate what 2/5 of 37 is. So I know we didn't have to show work, but this is how you do it. 2/5 of 37, you want to find a compatible number. 5 and 37 aren't compatible, but 5 and 35 are. So what's 2/5 of 35? 35 divided by 5 is 7, right? So 2/5 of that would be 14. Now, number 2 was estimate 7/8 times 4/5. So you estimate by rounding to the nearest number, 1, 0, or 1/2. 7/8 is almost 1. 4/5 is almost 1. 1 times 1 is 1. So the answer there is 1. All right, now let's go on to number 3. Number 3 was 15 times 2/3. So you want to turn 15 into a fraction times 2/3, and you want to multiply across. Let's see, can we simplify first? Yes, so I'm going to divide 3 and 15 by 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 1 times 1 is 1. 10 is my answer. All right, now number 4 was 2/5 times 25. So 2/5 times 25, turn it into a fraction by putting a 1 on the denominator. Simplify here. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 25 divided by 5 is 5. 2 times 5 is 10. 1 times 1 is 1. So your answer here is 10. All right, number 5 is 1/4 times 3/5. Now, honestly, there wasn't really much work to show. You probably just would have done 1 times 3 is 3. 4 times 5 is 20. So your answer is 3/20. It can't be simplified or anything. That was like the easiest show work ever. Number 6 is 4/9 times 3/8. So I would simplify before I multiply. 3 and 9 divide by 3. 4 and 8 can divide by 4. 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times 2 is 6. So if you divided after you multiplied, if you had to simplify your fraction, your work would look a little bit different then. Because you would have multiplied across and got 12 over 72, and then you would have had to simplify that. All right, so now number 7 was going into mixed numbers. So the first one was 4/3 times 3 and 1/8. So I should see you turning that 3 and 1/8 into an improper fraction. So 3 times 8 is 24, plus 1 is 25/8. Then, oh, I'm sorry, this is 4/5, isn't it? All right, let me double check. Yeah, 4/5. Sorry about that. So 5 and 25 can be divided by 5. 4 and 8 can be divided by 8. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 2 is 2. 5 divided by 2 is 2. Remainder 1. So this is 2 and 1/2. And then number 8 was 1 and 1/4 times 2 and 2/3. So let's turn those into improper fractions. 4 plus 1 is 5/4 times 3 times 2 is 6 plus 2 is 8/3. Let's see, can't simplify those. We can simplify. Divide by 4, divide by 4, multiply across, multiply across. 10 divided by 3 is 3 and 1/3. So your answer there is 3 and 1/3. Wow, sorry. It's really having trouble focusing. All right, let's go to the back. Number 9, we are converting measurement units with dimensional analysis. So On number 9, 5 gallons is how many quarts? So we start off with 5 gallons. Let's turn that into a fraction. And then if we put gallons in the denominator, quarts in the numerator, we're going to get quarts for our answer. So there's 1 gallon, has 4 quarts. You can multiply across 20 over 1. So it's 20 quarts. So now let's set this up. For number 10, we had 3 pounds. Let's make that into a fraction. Let's put pounds in the denominator, ounces in the numerator. It says there's 1 pound, 16 ounces. All right, now let's multiply across. So 3 times 16, I don't know that. Let's see, 18, 48. So 48 over 1. So that gives us, see how these, I didn't cancel those out. This gives us ounces. So that's 48 ounces. All right, now we had story problems. So number 11 said, the track surrounding a, oh, and by the way, we needed this for number 11. That was in the wrong spot. The track surrounding a football field was 1/4 of a mile long. Now, how many yards is that? So we need to set this up and put miles down here, yards up here, and get yards in the end for our answer. These will cross off. So 1 mile has 1,760 yards. All right, now you can multiply across. 1 times 1,760, 4 times 1, and we have to turn that into a mixed number. So 1,760 divided by 4. 4 goes into 17 4 times. 4 goes into 16 4 times. Oops. 4 goes into 0 0 times. So it's what? 440 yards. 440 yards. Okay, now number 12. The width of Florida is 4/5 of its length, and the length is 450 miles. So what's 4/5 of 450? Well, turn this into a multiplication symbol. Turn 450 into a fraction. You could simplify this. You can divide 450 divided by 5. Let's see what that is. 9 times 5, 90. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. 450 divided by 5 is 90. 90 times 4. 360 over 1. So our answer is 360, and we're talking miles. All right, and that is the Chapter 4 quiz. Review, practice quiz.